Why are we here?
We are here because we are
preparing outstanding warriors with wisdom to overcome and win! Hoorah!
Please welcome our speaker today, Mrs. Gilmore, who will be talking to us about unity.
Welcome to POWWOW on January 19th, 2021. I'm so excited to be here and to talk to you a little bit about unity. I don't think there's a better time for us to be talking about this topic. Yesterday, on the 18th, we celebrated the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and tomorrow, on the 20th of January 2021, we will see the inauguration of a new president for the United States of America. So I think unity is a huge thing right now and something that we're all talking about. Martin Luther King said that unity is not uniformity. That means that just because you come together and you're united doesn't mean that you're all the same. In fact, what makes our United States so different and so unique is that our unity is of people of so many backgrounds, so many races, so many religious backgrounds, so many different histories and cultures. And that unity, that united, is what makes us so very strong. Unity is defined as togetherness, okay? It's a oneness, but it's a oneness made up of so many different parts and very, very unique parts. And so that's what we have to focus on, is that we can be united, we can have unity, but be ourselves and be unique. It's being in full agreement, but disagreeing at the same time. That's what makes us the United States. And you're going to hear me say this over and over. Those of you who've had me for history or have me for history know I am a strong believer in the United States of America, not the North and the South and the East and the West, and not the Democrats and the Republicans and not this group or that group, but that we are together, that's where our strength is. And unity has always given us strength, regardless of what we're talking about. Those of you who play on an athletic team, it's your unity that makes you successful. When you play as a team, when you play as a united group, then you're successful. Win or lose, you're successful if you play as a team. You also know that I am a football fanatic. And so it's not the defense and the offense and the special teams. It's all of them coming together to make a team, a united team. If you have a strong offense, but you don't have a strong defense, then you're not going to be as successful. If your special teams don't work together, if you can't bring together that unity, then you're not going to have that success. And again, success is not defined as winning. It's as working together, united. You have a united school. When we put our heads together, look at the food that we collected. Look at the decorations we did for Christmas. Look at all the things that we can accomplish when we come together and work as a united school, not eighth graders and freshmen and sophomores and juniors and seniors, but as Newman. Newman is united. And even the campuses of Newman is what makes Newman so successful. Your family is a unit. It's united. Some days it doesn't seem like it, I know, especially if you have siblings. It seems as if you constantly butting heads and you can't come together. But we know that we defend our family. We come together and we work together. We are a union. It's just what people do. And there's so many different ideas about unity and what it is. J.K. Rowling, who's of course one of the most prolific writers and one that you all know, says that we are only as strong as we are united and as weak as we are divided. How many times do we hear this? United we stand, divided we fall. We hear this over and over. I just think it's so interesting that unity is something that it seems that everybody has an opinion on and is quoted and seems to realize the importance of unity. Um, I think that it means that we can disagree, we can be different, but when we need to be strong, we have to be united. Um, Unity, I think, is interesting. It's a word that starts with the letter U. You. You're part of that union, and each one of us is that you. And when one of those U's is gone, then there's a weakness in our unity. You know, we're only as strong as our strongest link and our weakest link. And so we have to be together. Everybody, every you is a part of that unity. And unity, it starts with you. So it starts with you, as in YOU. And if it doesn't start with you, then where does it start? So we each have to work together to bring that unity. And it's not easy. It is not easy. When you've got a football team or some team and there's somebody who wants to be the I in team and there's not an I in team, remember, then it's you that has to bring that person in. It's you who has to show that person how to be a part of the team, how to be united. It is just something that I strongly believe in, and you hear me say that all the time. Tomorrow, when our new president, don't care if he's your candidate, not your candidate, your party, not your party, tomorrow at noon, he will be the president of the United States of America. And you hear President-elect Biden say this all the time. Together we can do anything. And I have a feeling that's going to be his message tomorrow in the inaugural address, is coming together, putting aside our differences, putting aside our individual wants, our individual needs. Well, it's good for this part of the country. It's not good for this part of the country. It's good for these people. It's not good for these people. What's good for the united group of people, the united Americans? And being a part of a united group, sometimes you have to give up a little. But I think tomorrow you're going to hear this, that his message is, we are the United States of America. And our forefathers put that forth a long time ago. United we stand. How many times have we heard it? You've heard it twice tonight. You know that when we wrote the Declaration of Independence, and John Hancock signed it first with a huge letter so that King George could see it without his spectacles. And then they each one signed it. Whether they agreed with the entire Declaration of Independence or not, they came together as a united Continental Congress to present this declaration, to present this united force, this united group that says, no more Britain. And remember, it was said we need to all sign it, because all those who have signed it, if everyone else doesn't, we shall all hang together, or surely we'll hang separately. So everybody committed to that, whether they were parts of it they didn't like or not. And there certainly was. Not everybody can be in agreement with everything. But when you come to something that you can agree upon, and you can put your name to that document, or your person in that group, or your effort into that team, into that gang, then that's when we become united. And I just think it is our national unity. You knew I was going to get to this because you know me. I think it's how we are united as a nation. We're so different from any other nation. Okay. And I think that's what you need to understand. And that unity goes into other things. I once read that the United States is the only country that has a known birthday. We know when we were born. We were born on July 4th, 1776, when they took that vote and when they signed the Declaration of Independence. That's our birthday. Other countries have revolutions. We talked about the Venezuelan one. We'll talk about the French one. We talk about all the different revolutions. But how many of them started with a piece of paper that declared independence, declared us as a union? Those of you in my class also know I'm a very strong believer and student of our Native Americans and our Native American culture. I think we gain so much wisdom from them, and oftentimes they are overlooked. This is something that I read, and I just want to read it to you. As Native Americans, we believe the rainbow is a sign from the Spirit in all things. It is the sign of the union of all people, like one big family. The unity of all humanity, many tribes and peoples, is essential. How beautiful to compare humanity to the rainbow and the unity. When one of those colors is missing, it's not a rainbow. It's just colors in the sky. So when part of our union, part of our united group, our unity, one of our tribes or one of our groups of people, or this faction or this, we're not whole anymore. We have to be unified to be essential. I want to tell you about a choir, because when you look up the definition of unity, one of the parts of the definition is being in harmony. Harmony makes me think of bands and choirs. That we all, every part of that choir is so significant and so important to have that beautiful sound, to have that unity is just amazing. Amazing. But if the altos aren't there, or the sopranos aren't there, or the director's not there, then we don't have that unity. And I think that's so significant. In 2016, the city of San Diego was seeing the number of homeless in their city explode. And part of the reason was that they were taking this affordable housing and tearing it down to build houses for more affluent people, to build businesses, whatever. Tens of thousands of people were finding themselves without a home. 2016. A lady named Steph Johnson noticed that. And it made her stop and think. And she saw the homeless in and around where she lived. And she thought, I have to do something. And so she reached out and she began to take clothing and food and blankets to the homeless. But more importantly, she took her friendship and she brought them together, just the ones maybe in her neighborhood or the area around where she lived. But by becoming a part of this group, a group that she really didn't belong to because she was not homeless, but her friendship made her that. And then she ran into another gentleman because when we are united, this unity has so many different parts. So number one, we have Steph Johnson. And we have the homeless. And then Steph met a gentleman who was a minister, a pastor, Chris Nafis. And he saw what Steph was doing. And he offered his church. Now, his church was not a fancy dancy church by any means. It was in what's called the Low Bottoms on the East Village of downtown San Diego. It was nothing more than a worn down warehouse. But he said, come on. I want to be a part of this unity. And so here they began to meet, and she brought the food, and others did, and they brought clothing, and they brought blankets, and they offered them a place to be and a place to come together this friendship, this unity. Pardon me. And among these people, these homeless that she and the pastor had brought together, she met a lady who had been a singer in a homeless choir in Chicago. And she thought, why not? Why not? Let us come together in harmony. Let it be the music that unites us. Let it be the beauty of music that brings our souls together and gives us hope and peace and an understanding of each other and the support of each other. And then she met another person, another lady, Nina Deering. And she was a choir director, just a regular choir director. And she said, please let me be a part of this choir. And so now we have Steph, who looked out her door and saw those in need and offered clothing and food and blankets and friendship. We have Pastor Chris, who offered a building and warmth and a place to come together. We have Nina, who offers her talent as a choir director to give these homeless people an opportunity to sing. They weren't singers. Half of them weren't, probably more than half. But she had the opportunity to teach them to sing. Maybe they all weren't the best, but there were some standout vocalists in that group. But it was the fact that they came together, they had a purpose, they were united in this purpose to bring music and hope. Today, there are 225 members of the Voices of Our City, as the choir is known. 225. In just the few years that the choir started, over 60 of their members have found homes. They've gotten them off the street. They're a nonprofit organization. Yes, they make money off their recordings and their appearances, but it all goes to helping those in the choir, the services and the support that they need. Well, lo and behold, along comes a TV show called America's Got Talent. Now, again, you know, I love things like America's Got Talent, So You Think You Can Dance, Dancing with anything like that, because, you know, competition's my thing over here. And so, Voices of Our City auditioned. Pretty hard to get on America's Got Talent, even to audition. If you've ever taken anybody to any one of these things, it's not an easy process. But they made it. And if you watch America's Got Talent, they've got 4 judges, and the judges have to vote for you to go on. And you go to Hollywood, and that's the big final competition, and America votes on you, and yada, yada. But before that, before the judges vote, there's an opportunity for each of the 4 judges and the host to hit the golden buzzer. And the golden buzzer simply says you don't have to come back each week. It means on that first audition, you were so good that you're going directly to the final competition. Straight to Hollywood. Woohoo! Going to Hollywood. Not far from San Diego, but they're going to Hollywood if they make it. And sure enough, when the Voices of Our City finished singing, the host, Terry Crews, hit the golden buzzer, because this is what he believes America stands for. And it reminded him of where he came from and the people that need us. During the competition, one of the final presentations they did is a Stand By Me. And I don't think that there's another song that is more appropriate for the voices of our city to sing. Because if you stand by me, and I stand by you, and she stands by him, and he stands by us, and we all stand together, then if we are united, there's nothing in this world that we can't accomplish. But we have to stand by each other, because united we stand and divided we fall. Enjoy the voices of our city and Stand By Me. Have a blessed day.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see, no, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Stand by me.
If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains may crumble to the sea,
I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Stand by me. Oh, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me.
Hi, folks. This is Denise Rowe, International Group Leader and Special Events Coordinator with Newman. I've been serving with 5 years now, taking groups of 50, 60, 70 students to Belize, Costa Rica, Italy, and I'm here and able to join you virtually to share with you some news about our international travels. And so wanted to start with our seniors. Unfortunately, because of all the different aspects of travel right now, we had not recruited any new juniors and seniors to travel this year. It just wasn't practical because of our pandemic. And so I am so sorry that we were not able to have that time of excitement this year, but trust that you've had a great time with your families. And those of you that were registered for the trip to Ireland, it does not look like we'll be able to go to Ireland or actually any other location at this time because of the ongoing travel restrictions. And so just hold off about another 3 weeks and EF Tours will be contacting you on how you can get a refund or a travel voucher. And so if you wait until they contact you here, because right now we're about 65 days out, you will get a greater discount in your refund, okay? So those of you that are sophomores and juniors, are you ready? And you probably heard already, we are packing our bags and we are going to Barcelona, Spain. And we are pretty excited. It's an 8-day trip. It's going to be packed full of highlights and events and tours. We're going to be going with staff and faculty. So this is strictly a student trip for the juniors and seniors of 2022. But you can register now and start making payments. And it's a $300 savings if you register by January 31st. So we're going to Park Güell. We're also going to Paris. We will be seeing the Eiffel Tower and just experience all kinds of food and museums, architecture. We're going to visit La Sagrada Familia. We'll have all kinds of great food. The breakfast and dinners are included with the trip, and then you'll still have snacks and lunches that you can get on your own. We're going to have a cooking class. We're going to be able to create art. Just lots of opportunities throughout Paris and Barcelona. And you will have a life-changing experience. There's nothing like it coming alive in the textbook. So especially if you're in the Spanish or French classes, this is going to be phenomenal for you to see history and coming alive as we go on the trip. And you will come back as a changed person. There's you can't explain in a textbook what you can experience firsthand. And so there'll be cultural changes, time changes, personal growth. You'll become more confident and independent. We will have plenty of staff and faculty as you experience this. Some of you have never been on planes before, or some have never traveled internationally, but we'll make sure all those safety factors are also involved. And I'll have a special presentation for your parents so that they can also be at ease, okay? And there's different ways you can make payments. You also get your personal fundraising page, and you get a $300 discount if you register now before January 31st. The dates of the trip is going to be right after spring break of March 2022. So it's somewhere around the 20th. And depending on the best flight times, we will travel, and it'll be right around that Monday, Tuesday, usually typically after we return from spring break for departure. And you can get started with just a $95 deposit. And like I said, if you see the date there, it says December 31st. But we were able to extend it till January 31st for that $300 discount. And so the enrollment's open. We are excited to have many of you others join us. You can have a risk-free full refund by May 1st, 2021 of this school year. If for some reason you sign up, you start making payments, and anything changes and you all decide that as a family that it's not the best decision for you students to travel. And then there's a little URL there that you can do the QR code. And like I said, I'll have a special meeting just for your parents to listen to more details. And then what I will make sure that your office coordinators have is a printout like this, front and back, with all the details. So it'll just capture what we talked about today, what's included on the tour, some of the skill sets you'll learn, where we'll be going, some of the details, some of the questions, the pricing with the special discount, and the QR code and the enrollment code there. And then also, I believe it says on here about the risk-free money back until May 1st, okay? But keep in mind, this is a good until January 31st, and then the cost of the trip will be going up. I'm not exactly sure how much, but wanted to make sure that you all have the opportunity to get the best pricing. This is the furthest out we've been able to plan. And so I'm really excited for all of you that are juniors and seniors. That means, or will be juniors and seniors in 2022. That gives you many more the opportunity to come and join us for this incredible life-changing experience. So thank you all. Have a great rest of the day. And I'm going to sign off here. If you have any questions, you and your families can email me directly at drow@newmanacademy.org. All right. Take care, y'all.
And now for our school song.
May God bless our school as we march to light tomorrow and stand tall today with love, faith, and hope. We rise to build our nation with wisdom, stature, and faith, yeah. May God bless our school today and forever.